You can begin to see why we're disappointed in you lot. Sure, we got along famously for centuries, been through wars together, literally, but that's history. Too many of yous have too little clue how recently you threw us out with the trash. Garbage chickens, flying rats, dirty bites, shithawks. Please, just call them out, we heard them all. That phrase, flying rats, can only be traced as far back as certain references in the New York Times in the 1960s. It was then popularized by a certain whiny, bespectacled movie director. Squired Rosemary's Baby, then marries his stepdaughter. His pigeons were in no position to pass judgment on questions of cross-pollination. It's too difficult to monitor when there's 50 of yous living cramped under the eaves of one roof. But in matters of moral rectitude, it behooves you to consider whence they've issued. No offense to rats intended. So why don't you go ahead and admit it? You're a pigeon bigot. You know who you are, who see nothing so disgusting as pigeon shit, though how it can be so much worse than yours we don't get, but sit with this. What today streaks the moldings of banks and office facades, the bronze noggins of patriarchs, was once worth its weight in gold. Aside from being exemplary fertilizer, guano was essential to the alchemy of gunpowder. Great kings amassed its mounds of power, yes sir, the work was regular as royal bird shit tender. We lived in lovely dove coats, carved stone aviaries with arching doorways, misted with rose water by kindly attendants every day, as many seeds as we could eat. We could watch our young ones grow if you didn't eat those, but now we see them laid unsung in gutters after snow melts in spring. Matted, gray, waterlogged pink little things with toe bones pointed skyward, where some urban vampires flown off with their innards, or else they're squashed by bus tires and tossed to the curb. But don't worry, we've certainly seen a lot worse. Your notoriously short memory is a feature of epic evolutionary tragedy. A close second would be the odd fragility of your teeth. A beak isn't bone, but at least it doesn't rot out of your head, usually. Reminds me of a song we used to sing to keep spirits up during the wars. In days of old, when nights were lonely and cold, and royalist metaphors were still in vogue. It's time for reversing the order of things. We who've been underlings soon shall be kings. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. At long last the beaked shall inherit the earth. You see us there every day, part of the urban gray, lining the curbs, entrances to subways, begging for change, or just trying to stay out of the way of your flocking throngs of humanity, whizzing by in blurry schools with a 3-second memory, whereas we remember everything. Each of us carries the collective recollection of 250,000 service birds, bred to wretched excess like battery hens. We're the not-so-long-lost cousins of the feral rock doves who now clutter your many cenotaphs, your monuments to warmongers, splattered by our young squads of avian anarchists. You've made homeless veterans of us, who'd once been so indispensable to you, you mnemonically myopic Homo sapiens. We're not bitter. Bitterness can't help us to get by in any way, but we're just a bit surprised that you never appear to remember the promises you make, to never forget, and to learn from your mistakes. So you repeat the same fatal wobble over again every 2.8 generations, as though vowing to never look back weren't equivalent to a complete guarantee the same situation will creep up and peck your arse again. We really went to bat for you, you know. Brought news of land to that geezer with the floating zoo boat. We're more miraculous, more reliable than radio during WW1 and 2. You had to blast us from the sky to intercept us, and you did so too. Blown to smithereens in our thousands on thousands, flown overseas with your fittest and finest on shiny metal wings, strapped to the pounding chests of paratroopers like canteen flasks, as we tried to fathom how it came to be that we, who were able to fly exceptionally well became fastened to you, who cannot at all. Then together we're packed into this soaring sardine can from which you flightless apes planned to jump. Not just a few of us thought you'd truly gone fishing this time, as we plummeted through space, wings pinned back in the sort of cotton sling, tethered round the torso of a brave recruit who may or may not have done much of this sort of thing. The American military had commissioned Maidenform, the famous brassiere company, to design exclusively a soft and supple sling, to truss a soft and feathered thing, a hopeful heart with wings. I dreamt I fought Nazis in my Maidenform bra. Axis falconry trained to rip us from the sky, while Vera Lynn sang of bluebirds, of warm days in summer, when Happy would sleep in her own scrappy nest again, unmolested by night terrors, nor awakened by looming artillery, no military walls of fire encroaching upon our little fortresses of civility. In the service of a monarchy, among so many mothers' sons, all serried together like pigeons, like soldiers in trenches, in transports, in ditches, the ones who'll never make it home again once this is done. Though it's all they've longed for since the slaughter had begun, once they got here and saw. There was no earthly way to survive but to be pulled forward by the vesper-thin whisper of home through the very mouth of hell. Loss of eyes, limbs, parts of the skull, lost solace of happy memory, glow of inner peace, all lost. But for the fearless, formidable pull of home in whatever form, person, place, or state of mind. In our multitudes sent to defend you, we fell to the clamor of enemy guns. The one bird left alive of a certain regiment, sent back to headquarters with the message, "Danke for the pigeons, they were delicious." Hope is not for the faint of heart. In fact, it is a cluster of electromagnetic sensors in our beaks, which helps to direct our narrative trajectory, no matter how likely we might get shot down. Hope can tear open a heart, but then helps it to mend. It's a strange force, drawing us forward through infinite space, carrying coordinates back to headquarters, where hopefully hopeful loved ones await. Hope may be all for them in the end, returning home to them as safely as we can.